Well, good evening. Good evening.
Hi, everybody.
We'll give y'all a moment. Although we are on YouTube, so um, I looked and reviewed our last one. We had like 28 people that actually liked it, which is high. That was high for our. It's increasing every time.
That's
So
great news. Come
right.
in, come on
So
in. Step
what it is,
forward.
think that after we do it, then people go on YouTube and stuff, and then they actually end up seeing it. And I think that they like. I'm putting the caption: "We are two therapists, two friends." It was one more. Two therapists. It was something before therapists. Oh, two therapists, two coaches, two friends. Just
You got
having.
to change therapist because I'm not a therapist.
You are a therapist.
I'm a counselor. I didn't get certified in therapy yet.
It does well. Okay. So
Listen, I don't want the people to be like, I'm like, listen, I'm not a therapist. I can do counseling. But when you don't get the certification, then you can't be
I
a
didn't I
therapist.
didn't know. Okay, you have to be called a counselor, not
Yeah.
a therapist. Okay. Okay. So school me then.
Cause it's like a whole the certification that you got. My program was not a certification, um, like a
You did.
licensure,
You got right licensure. You got a certificate.
but I didn't get a license like
Oh,
the
gotcha.
licensure program. I didn't go through that program,
Gotcha.
which now I wish I would have but at the time I didn't really know the difference.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times we're not prepared when you go in that field. You don't really know what the difference is and all of that stuff. But it's
Yeah.
never too late. But it's not a necessity. I will say that I'm learning so much, right? Having this degree can hinder in ways. Um, I know somebody who is extremely successful and she doesn't have a degree. So it really is, you just work with whatever gifting you have, right? You don't necessarily have to have a licensure.
Well, tell me something, friend, because I'm up here like I don't need to, I
Well,
don't want
that's not
to
what you're
be
going for
training.
anyway, friend. So why you even thinking about that? That's not what you're going for. You have the base of counselor. And so where you're
Yes.
going, you'll be able to use that and then do the other. I'm not even
Yes.
gonna put it out there because I don't know if you're ready to release that yet. That's a you thing.
I don't know.
Well, it is called pour it out, but
It is called pour it out.
it is a thing of some things have timing.
They
So
do have timing. And I'm
that's
trying to decide if this is the time. I don't know. James and I are doing a lot of shifting right now.
okay.
Both of us are I don't know if it's the age. When did you start in your therapy career? How old were you?
Well, I went to school straight through. So I got my associates because I had done no school. When I first,
Um,
yeah, I hadn't done any school. So I went associates, bachelors, and masters. That was 8 years of hell. Eight straight years. Yeah.
Gee,
Yeah. I was 38. I think I was,
I'll be 38 this year.
see, that's about right. Yep. I'm telling you, those 30s, they are so critical. Because you're trying to set yourself up. Tell me what you're thinking, and I'll tell you what I was thinking in my 30s, if I can remember, because I'm 52.
You 52, friend.
I'm 52.
You
Yes,
32,
I'm
friend.
52. Technically 38, 48. I almost could be your mama. I'm your auntie. I could be your auntie.
Yes,
Yeah.
because did you see the picture that I put on Facebook of the one that I look like?
Yes, you're a twin because you
My
look more like
twin.
her than you do
Than
your.
my mom. Yeah, it's crazy. It's really everybody says that.
Hmm.
She's I think she's turned 52. So y'all are right there together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think right now, and it's crazy because when I was maybe 20 or so, or no, maybe even a teenager, it was like I would hear people say, "Oh, in your 20s, you just living life, YOLO," and then in your 30s, like a light bulb comes on. And to be honest with you, I turned 30 and I was like, I don't feel the light bulb. I must be like
Well, you turn 30, right? It don't necessarily happen as soon as you turn 30. I honestly, I really think it's between 33
oh,
and especially the end of 30s. It's something about the end of 30s that, man, that light bulb be like bright.
beaming, okay? And it's so crazy. You said the exact number when my mind started to shift. 33 was when it was something. And I remember because I was saying, like, Jesus was 33 when he started about his business. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
really doing this thing. So I remember that very vividly because I remember, like, oh, I'm feeling something here.
Mhm.
But it wasn't like, Sheonta, you need to be doing this, this, and this. It was more of like, you
Awakening.
have a purpose. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the awakening. You have a purpose. You have a calling. And it's so crazy that they make you make a decision about your life at 18, 19 years old. You know?
What's crazy to me is that a lot of people go to school, right? And then you get all this debt. And then at 18, you have absolutely no clue. So I am grateful that I went when I went because it gives you time to process life. It gives you time to really, I mean, let's say realistically, that's late, right? 38, starting a career, trying to find, what you're going to do. But I knew what it was. And I think that that's the biggest thing. At 18, you have no clue. I think that's exploration time, your early 20s, mid 20s. It's time for you to find you. And you don't always do that by going to school. And when you do, that's why so many people change to different career paths. And then they get all this debt because, oh, at this age, I felt like this. And now I'm shifting to this. So yeah, I don't think that that's the best time at 18. Maybe a trade school. And
Oh, you're in my head. Like I'm sitting here. I'm like, I'm sorry, go ahead and say it. Oh,
no,
this is
no, go
crazy,
ahead.
crazy. Because I was like, maybe at that age, what you should do is get a trade, something that will make you money,
Yeah.
until you like, and then you can like be on your own. You can
Mm-hmm.
figure life out.
Mm-hmm.
You're not in a lot of debt, if
Mm-hmm.
any,
Mm-hmm.
and you can do that for like 20 years or
Always
something
have
till
that
it
skill.
hits. And then when you get in your 30s, you can pursue a career. Like, what am I really thinking? Do I really like doing this trade thing? Because some people, they stick in the trade, they like it and they stay in it.
Mm.
You know, I think it's a culture thing.
What do you mean?
I think it's a culture thing because um I have a lot of friends in different cultures, races, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of feel like with our black culture, we're like forced to go to school. Like there's no other option. Like you're gonna go to college, you're gonna be the first one to go to college and graduate and blah 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 blah, all these things. Where I feel like other cultures, especially like the white culture, they subscribe to more of a family businesses. You don't have to go to school if you're not ready. You can be a part of the family business, which is a trade.
Mm-hmm.
You do like farming, welding, something along those lines. They have some type of business where their kids can come and work for them. They don't have to go to school right away if they don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
And it sets them up to where either they can take over the family business or they can pursue something else later on down the line, saving both them and their parents time and money.
Well, I mean, I agree. And at the same time, I see another side because I wasn't forced, but then that was a religion thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know that my experience of the black culture is you need to go to college, college, college. I wasn't around that type of people, that type of crowd that pushed that. And then I was around because I went to an all white school. It was only like 10 of us, 10 of us who were black in the school of like thousands. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and they were pushed to go to college. So, but I do understand what you're saying though.
Mm-hmm.
You keep
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
freezing up, I think. No, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. You may have just been sitting there listening.
No, I'm just listening. I'm listening.
Yeah.
This is good
Um,
tonight. It
so
always is.
you might be right. I mean, maybe both, it's a little bit of both, maybe.
I do think, and I'm not saying that. Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying. I'm not saying that white culture is totally like that, but just from my experience, I've definitely seen that. I've seen it. A lot of businesses and a lot of family businesses and a lot of, just come on over here and work with
Yeah.
us.
And
And
stay
you
in the
know,
house, you can live in the house. It's just so different. What you're saying is true. I just think, well, maybe now a lot of black people are getting their businesses, but I don't think they're family oriented. I don't think a lot of our
mhm.
businesses are. It's like, okay, this is what my mama do, this is what my dad do, and it hasn't been cultivated as a family business. Whereas I believe white people really do train their children up in the business. As
Yeah,
a fact, I talked to my husband about that because he's a mechanic and I started off, so going back to the whole trade thing, I started off in a trade
you
because I
did.
out with nails, which I never got. I got like a little certificate. I never got licensed in it, right? And then I went to barbering. So at the time, my now ex-husband was a barber as well. So you would think we should have brought them, when I think back, we should have brought them up in that, trained them to do it, no matter if they wanted to do it or not, because
Yeah,
that's what white people do, right? You
yeah.
may not want to do it, but you're going to learn it.
You're gonna learn it. This
Yeah.
is for our family, and you're gonna be like, even shows you see them doing the oil businesses, and it's just a lot. And I'm just sitting here thinking about that. Even when I think about the path that some black people took, I think about um the army. I do believe that, like, the military itself, whether it's Army, Air Force, Navy, whatever you decide to go in, I think that's a great opportunity too, because you're not wasting money.
Hmm.
You definitely not wasting time, because you're doing stuff, you learning stuff, you're meeting new people, you're traveling the world. So I think it's a great opportunity, especially if you don't know what. Oh my gosh, if I can stress this, if you don't know what you want to do,
Hmm.
go into the military. Just go, because they're gonna make you do something,
Yep. And
and
I
they're gonna
put
pay
my
for you to
son.
do it.
Yep. I pushed him to do it. I
Yes.
pushed him. I made him go because he had no clue, and I knew college was not for him. Oh no, not at all. So, he at the time didn't really want to do that, but I know he's grateful now. And so that's the beauty of it, that he did travel the world. He's been to places I haven't been. He been to
Mhm.
Djibouti, Africa, where I want
Mhm.
to go because he told me about it. He's been to Santorini, Greece. And I'm like,
Wow.
he's been to a lot of places. Now, the crazy thing is he's been overseas, but he ain't traveled in the United States.
Yeah, I have a friend
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. So,
She's been to Turkey, she's been to Italy, she's been to Germany. She's been all around, and she's been there for like 16 years.
okay.
And she loves it.
Hmm.
She don't want to come back to the States.
Well, he pretty much don't live in the States, in Hawaii. It ain't it ain't
No,
it ain't the
that ain't
States.
the
you
States. They
know?
say it's the States, but it's not.
Oh, it's totally different. But you know, I agree with you. If you don't know, it's a good place for you to at least explore. Right now, you're gonna learn
Yeah.
discipline. It's a lot of stuff you're gonna learn.
It's a very, and I think it also, if you were like in a small town, you grew up in a small town, or you were sheltered, the military exposes you to a lot of different things.
Hmm.
And so I think it's, especially straight out of high school, I think it's a great thing to do. If you don't have that discipline, or if you, like I said, were sheltered, the military still provides you with some discipline, but it still allows you to be grown.
Yes, yeah, and you still making your own money. You have, when you go off base and stuff, you can buy what you want to buy. Well,
Hmm.
I don't think you get very much money at first, but you
I
get.
think you get, listen, I think that making like almost $2,000 a month as an 18-year old, that's pretty good.
Oh, that's what you get.
Yeah, I think I'm. Yeah. Well, I
And
didn't go in as a basic, so I don't know. Like, I didn't go in as a slick sleeve,
okay.
so I don't know what their base pay is that low. But I mean, I want to say you got to be close to making $2,000 a month, which I feel is a good little amount when you fresh out of high school.
Yeah. And not have to pay for room and board and food. If you want to eat, you can eat in whatever they call it, the mess
The
hall.
child hall,
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah,
whatever.
they have different names for it.
I think it was the mess hall for him. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to do all that. So I definitely think that it's a great opportunity for people who just like you're saying. I just think that college definitely should be in place. University should definitely be in place because there are some things that you just will not learn if you're not on a college level, on a university level. Like you just won't learn it for what you're trying to do. You need college for it.
Hmm.
But I do think that um
Well, say that again. Okay. Talk a little bit about that. You're saying for what you want to do anything, meaning,
no. I'm saying like
oh,
certain things you need college for.
yeah.
Like I don't want a doctor that did not go to college.
Oh, yeah. Right.
You know, like I don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want a pilot that did not go to some form of school to learn how to be a pilot. Like those things I just don't want, you know. But I mean, certain other things, I feel like you could just get a trade for it and you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Friend, we ain't talk about what we was drinking tonight.
Oh, yeah. I just have 100% cranberry juice,
100% pineapple orange juice.
which is fine. It sometimes we don't always have to have a drink, but sometimes we may, right?
Sometimes we will.
Yeah. And whatever y'all choose to drink on is fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just
Yeah.
it helps you to relax and you feel comfortable. I think, when you're drinking whatever it is that at that moment you need to drink.
Whatever. Yeah, I agree. It,
It's pour it out, right? Pour if it's water, pour it out. Your
just pour
system
it
needs
out.
water.
Because
Hmm.
everybody in our audience isn't going to drink. They're
Hmm.
not going to drink alcoholic beverages, and that's fine. We want
I
everybody to
think
feel
most of
welcome.
them will.
We want everybody to feel welcome. Listen, friend, you know what I got to talk to you about.
What? Ooh, what was that?
Where did you go?
It
Was it
it
that
blinked.
bad?
It
Was
blinked
it
out. It said,
that? It's like, nope, I'm getting off of here.
I don't want to hear this one.
We ain't doing it. You know, I got to get because we haven't talked. So I got to get your opinion about this Cat Williams situation.
Oh, okay. What is your question? What are your thoughts?
Um, it was real. And the reason why I bring it here is because we're all about being open, honest, and transparent. And I think he was all the things, all three of
Yeah.
those. Like I was sitting in bed and some because I put it on my big screen TV. Like I put it on the screen. Like I didn't watch it on my phone. I put it on
Oh,
the TV.
okay.
Because I was like, I really want to hear what this guy has to say. Um, I didn't realize that he was so intelligent.
I know, right?
I guess because we always see him in that comedian light,
Hmm.
like I just never saw him as being that intelligent. Not saying that he couldn't be. I'm not trying to slight him, but um it just goes to show you how much being a comedian is a part of acting as well.
I mean, he studied his craft,
Yes.
you know, and I think part of it is because why did I was thinking Kevin Hart. I don't know. But I'm thinking Cat Williams, right? Because he doesn't he hasn't succumb. What's the word? Succumb
Um,
to some of the other things that others have, right? Doing things in order to get. He's built his own, he's built his own platform and he's true to it. And I love that about him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I didn't know he was a Jehovah's Witness growing up.
Did he say it on there? Did
He
I
never
miss it?
he never said it,
I
but
was
he
about to say,
said
wait a minute.
he got disfellowship. That is a Jehovah's Witness thing. And
You
I was like,
knew it.
what?
You knew it.
Yep.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, it does. When he was talking about his brothers, and then he didn't align with nobody else in the family. He's always been, he said, the black sheep. I was like, is you talking about me, Cat? Because, yeah, that's what I felt like. The black sheep. Yeah. And he's just always been a different one. He walks by his own drum.
Wow. Now that really put a little bit of more on that case in that situation. Um, yeah, from I just really he and I told what I told James was I feel like he's an artist. Like I don't really think that people took
Mm-hmm.
he made me look at comedy and all of that way different. You know, I mean, I know it was a lot of things that was said, but I really appreciate the art of comedy so much more after listening to him talk
Mm-hmm.
because of how serious he is about it.
Oh yeah, man, that's studying of the comedians and comedy, period, and acting, because it
It's
all
a yes.
goes together. Um, he's amazing, right? He really is, as you said, very intelligent, and he doesn't get those props. I think because, like I say, he didn't succumb to these other ways of getting in the media, right? The media tries to portray him like he's crazy. Like he said, yeah, y'all can think that all you want to.
But
And
that's not
actually, it might be better for him to think that.
that's and it I mean I'm sitting here watching him and I'm like, oh my God, like the person we see on TV is not who he is.
No. Mm-mm.
And I mean I know that in acting, like when you're watching the show, but I never had put that on a comedian level. Like I thought that they would just come out there and tell jokes and talk about their life and that was them.
Well, I
No.
think some of them do.
Yeah, but not him.
Yeah,
He
no.
pretty much told you like I'm when I'm on stage, I am that person on stage. But I mean, he showed you like he was totally different when he was talking to Shay Shay.
Yeah,
Like totally a totally different person.
yeah. He talked about, he talked just so many different perspectives on so many. I wasn't with I mean, that's him, right? To share about Steve Harvey and all these other people or whatever, hey, that's on him. Um, I don't see the necessity for that, but nonetheless, hey, everybody is different. But him just sharing another side of him. I didn't know he had adopted 6 kids either.
Nope.
I didn't even know he really had a relationship with God.
And then he's a humanitarian. Like when he said he made all that money and then he'll give like what 10,000 back to the city. Like
He said
that's
that's his tithe.
that's his time. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he does. And I was like, this is just I don't know. It was a lot to watch him
Hmm.
in that way. But also just like you're saying, I I rather enjoyed the comedy because I do believe that that was part of. He's always going to be a comedian, no matter what. I feel like we saw a truer version of him with Uncle Shay Shay,
Yeah.
but it was definitely some comedic moments, to where it was just like, oh my God, like, and that part. Another thing that I've learned about comedians is that the most painful things they've learned how to put it in laughter.
Yep.
And so I do believe the only thing that I feel like he's still, and you can tell that because he never talked. That was the first time he had ever talked about his family.
Hmm.
And so you
Hmm.
could tell
He
he's
kind
still
of,
dealing with that. You could
yeah.
tell.
Uh-huh.
I could tell like his whole demeanor changed when he had to talk about his family.
Hmm.
Um,
He
it
has a
really
process.
touched him.
I say he need a therapist. I was like, I need to be there to help him through that.
He need help, girl. I'm sitting there thinking that's that therapist in us,
Yeah.
girl. Cause
I
I was
yeah.
sitting there like, here I go. Like I could just feel it. I could just
Hmm.
feel that that's a part of his area and of area in his life that he is still working on. You know,
I
you
I
tell that
don't
it's
know if
not
he's
healed yet.
working on
It's
it.
not resolved.
Yeah, it's not resolved, but I don't know
It's
if
not.
he's working on it. I think he's made up in his mind that, hey, that happened and he's not really dealing with it.
Yeah, I see what you. Yeah.
That's what it
Oh yeah.
seems like,
It
because
definitely
he
seems
really,
unresolved.
he kind of tried to dissociate himself from what was happening to him, and move forward. Yeah. To
And he's
some.
still very, because he was very, you could tell the parts that he's unbothered with and that he's gotten over. Like the Steve Harvey thing, he's gotten over. I mean, even the Friday, he's gotten over it. Is
Hmm.
he, you know, did it upset him? Yeah. But he's gotten past that. Like at this point, it's like, I don't listen. And that's what I loved about him. He was not up there exposing people because he was angry with people.
Hmm.
He
Hmm.
literally was just up there talking.
Hmm.
Like, this is what I've been through, and I'm bold enough like to talk about it in this way.
And I love that, because that meant nobody was controlling him. He could, that was such eye opening to me. Like, be free enough to where you can really share whatever it is. Nobody should have no control over you. The people who are controlled or who are puppets, because guess what? They can't speak on
They
certain
can't
topics.
say nothing.
Exactly. They have to keep their mouth quiet, or else they will be cut. Their money will be cut. Their all of their whatever
Endorsements.
will be cut, right? And so I
Yep.
love the fact that he could so freely talk. And hey, he like he don't care what somebody got to say. What can you do to me? There's nothing you can do.
What a peaceful place to be.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
And even him saying like my he said my my net worth is what I had in my pocket one day. Like what they have me listed as my net worth, that's
Hmm.
literally what I had in my pocket that day. And he was just pretty much like, you know, I can get whatever I want. If I don't have it, it's because I don't want it.
Hmm.
And to be in that place of freedom and know that you didn't get there by doing provocative things and
Yeah.
selling yourself and all these things. I mean, what an example.
Hmm.
What an example to people who are trying to come up in life right now. And that's not even a comedian, that's anything in life. To not sell yourself because
Yeah.
you think that's the only way you're going to make it, if you sell yourself. Like, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But
And
I go ahead.
he talked about how he was at peace in the space he's in,
Uh-huh.
with whatever net worth. They said he's worth $2 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's a benefit for him. If they think that you only make 2,000, or I mean, are only worth 2 million, and
That's
you worth
fine.
maybe 50 million, that's good for me.
That's
Because
fine.
I mean, the IRS ain't coming
Ain't
after.
coming after
Right. They gonna think I only make this. I gotta pay such and such. I'm good, right?
me.
But what a peaceful space that is, to be able to. He said if it's anything he wanted, you know, he knows that he could have it. It's not like he can't have it, but
I
that's not what he's striving for. He said, I like when he said, I am a friend of God. One of
Yeah.
my is I wanted to be a friend of God, right? And so
Wasn't
adopting
that beautiful?
those kids was about being a friend of God, lending my hand to God to be able to help somebody else. How many people do you really hear talk like that, especially who have money? They may give away before the end of the year for tax write-offs, and it may look like,
They're
you know,
getting, yeah,
hmm
that they're
but
lending their hand. Yeah.
exactly. But he really, I mean, he showed who he really is, and that's way more than this, what you see, this, or what I think they have made him out to be.
I mean, and even sometimes how he has made himself out to be, because he's just not let us get this deep with him before, ever before this point. He's always had that clown type, I'm a jokester type personality.
Hmm.
And so it was almost like you never would take him serious. But the way he represented himself on that show, I mean, I feel like everybody took him serious. Whether
Mm-hmm.
you felt like he was lying or not, oh, you took him serious because it was just the way that he presented himself and portrayed himself in that moment. And it was just like, wow, this like I'm not here to play tonight. And I'm really big about body language and watching people and how they act and
Mm-hmm.
just his confidence.
Mm-hmm.
It was like he said something and it wasn't like or not, like it was not, it was just flat out boom.
Yep.
I'm saying this and then I'm gonna sit back and let you react to it because I it's coming straight from the dome for me.
Yep. Even when Shannon was asking him certain things, he ain't back down. He was like, "This is you heard what I said. Basically, I said what I said."
I said what I said and I'm not taking it back. Like this is it. And either you take it or you leave it. So my question is, how do you get to that level of peace and confidence?
Mm.
Is it truly spiritual? Like,
I think that's a big part of it, knowing who's, knowing whose you are and being confident that you're doing what you've been called to do. That's what I would say. One of the big pieces is, and,
okay, PPP.
and walking in it, right? He's done this for years and years, so he's. Let me add this in there: study of your craft as well. You know, he's done that. Like he knows all about from all the way back Red Fox, before that Richard Pryor. He knows almost every single comedian, right? What he say? He said he knew um how many laughs they got,
Yes.
and he knew how many laughs he got. I mean, he put in work. Watch
Wow.
out to see. It's like it reminded me of a boxer, right? They're watching your moves. They're studying your moves. Okay, that didn't work. Let me see. I can hit it from this angle. So I think it's a whole combination. Really, first the spiritual piece, knowing what you've been called to do, walking in it, knowing who you are, right? Being confident in God has raised me up for this time to do this, and this is what I'm gonna do.
And he said that, right? He talked about it. He was like, I knew at a young age that this is what I wanted to do. He knew it. Um, it's just I might don't get some backlash about this one, but I will put him as the Kobe Bryant of comedy. And the reason why I say that is because if you think about Kobe Bryant, he told you, like, I got here because I watched film over and over and over again. I watched Michael Jordan. I studied every move. I would sit down. If he has an interview and he says it, he's like, I would sit down in front of the TV. I would watch a move. I would stop it. I would try to do it. I would rewind it, do it again. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's how deep he was into it.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, that level of dedication.
And I believe that that's what we're called to do. With whatever we're called to do, we do have to study our craft. We have to know how to really, combat the enemy. Because the enemy gonna come at us in a lot of ways, right? But if you come this way, I study that. Okay, I got to figure out. I feel like that's what David did, even with Goliath, even though he never slayed a giant, right? He studied him from afar. Okay, you may be this tall, but what defeats a giant? And so it made him start thinking. It made
Like
him,
analyzing.
yeah, exactly. And that's what we should be doing in our craft. Well, that's what it woke me up to. Like, girl, you need to be studying something every day on whatever it is you are called to do or whatever it is that you're going to do. Because it's something I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm called to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I have been studying that because, I mean, that's how you get better at something, by really studying it, learning it, and applying it.
And he went for the greats too. That's another thing.
Hmm.
If you want to be great, go great. Be big. So if you want to be a speaker, then you need to be looking at Myron Golden. Like you gotta be up there with the
Every
great.
day, baby.
You
Every
know what
day.
I'm saying? Yes, you do. You got to be like listening and
Eric
studying their
Thomas,
mannerisms
you know,
and like how they respond to people, how they sit, how they their voice inflection,
language,
everything. You
pausing.
the
Yeah.
tone,
Yep. All of that.
all of that.
Hmm. Even knowing how to add a little humor in there, and then being confident in who you are. One thing about Myron Golden, now we jumping, right? But
I'm gonna
he
take a bite of
is,
my spaghetti here.
oh, okay. He's so he'll, I won't say make a mistake. He shows his true self, right? He's very authentic in himself. um it's been plenty of times like he might say something or do something and he knows how to turn that for his good. That's what a comedian does. They may trip on stage, they gonna add another act in there, baby, that wasn't even planned, and it just comes off the dome, right?
Right.
That's how
Yeah.
you have to be, speakers. So I mean, I think in every profession, if you feel like you got tripped up, no, I ain't get tripped up, because baby, I'm gonna use that in
I'm
this
using
skit
it.
right here. You know?
Right.
Hmm. Yeah.
Right.
And that takes a lot, because I would say for me, I used to probably would get embarrassed if something would happen or I mess up on a word. Because at one point I was a perfectionist, right? And so that will stop you all day from being um from being able to, I guess, capture your audience in the best possible way. They're not looking for perfection. Because if that's the case, they wouldn't be there. They wouldn't be anywhere because there is none, right?
Right.
That's what I had. They're looking for somebody who is down to earth, who they can relate to. They rather have the relatable, I feel. If you make a mistake, you really can't laugh because boo, you've made them too. You know what I'm saying? Like, if
Right.
go ahead and laugh if you want to, but your day coming. And remember, the same thing you put out is gonna come back. So, you know, um, I had to come a long way. Just really, if you make a mistake, look, just keep on. Try and use it in whatever you're doing.
And I think for me, when you're saying that, what you're basically saying is don't be afraid to crucify yourself.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Because along with crucifixion comes grace.
Hmm.
And along with the grace, you have the strength for the race. So it's all, you can't be ashamed because a lot of people don't get anywhere, but that's because they don't want to crucify themselves, which to me means to humble yourself.
Yeah.
To me means it's not about what you know how to do and getting out there and just doing that, because if that's what you're supposed to do, you wouldn't have to worry about crucifying yourself. Like you already know how to do that. To me, it's about exploring avenues and ventures that you have no idea um what's on the other side of it and being so willing to just step out there.
Hmm.
That's faith, and having hope that this is going to work out. And just no matter how things um start to flow, you saying I'm not giving up.
Hmm.
This weakness, these parts of me is building a stronger version of me,
Hmm.
but I'll never see it if I stop, or I'll never see it if
If I
I
start.
don't start. Right, if I don't start. But in that, I'm not dying to, I'm staying where I am. I'm staying in this place, which means I'm staying in myself,
Hmm. Hmm.
you
Yeah.
know.
That's takes me to something. I haven't even told you this, but I am submitting a pitch to the TV station so that I can do something on Valentine's Day.
Nice.
So I've been talking to myself and I'm like, I've been putting it off. Now I know I heard God say it to me. Now this was last week. He's like, okay, you keep waiting. You're not gonna have enough time because you got to give them, the producers and stuff, time to, first of all, accept your pitch. Second of all, to get that scheduled and all of that, right? So by tomorrow it'll be pitched, right? I'm just saying, God, I'm doing what you told me to do. Now,
That's awesome.
and but I'm thinking in my head, what if I mess up? I've never been on TV before, right? And I said, well, then you try again.
You try again. But I
And
don't
if
think you're gonna mess up. You have been on TV. You're on TV right now. I'm
well,
serious.
I'm saying, I'm looking at it different, right? Like, I guess because the audience that we have right now is not at those numbers that may watch that day. It's just like a little more scary. And I said, I know what to do. I just got to rehearse, because really it goes like this. From what I hear, you don't get, look, I got a whole, girl, it's like a whole paragraph. You ain't going to say all that. You're going to say the 5 things that you have in there, and that's what you're going to say. And that's what you're going to rehearse and remember, right? It's almost like Cat Williams
Yeah.
rehearsing, right? But if you get off, hey, keep going, right? Don't stop and like freeze. No, you keep going. Come up with something. You better be innovative.
Wow.
And then I'm depending on the Holy Spirit anyway. So I feel like I'm going to be fine. First of all, well, I mean, I guess I've just told myself I have this, like that it's going to happen. So I guess it is.
It is gonna happen. It is
uh,
gonna happen.
okay. So when it happens, yeah, I'll just be preparing for it. I
I
just,
think that's a great way to look at that.
yeah, it's scary. It's scary because it's something I've never done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What are you gonna do like a marriage special or
No, no,
relate?
no. I'm going to do, so you know how for Valentine's Day, people are all about, oh, they got to go on a date. It has to be, they got to have a boo. But I'm gonna be like, if you are single, why not date you? I thought it was a different spin, right? I've never heard anybody do. They have segments all the time on Valentine's Day. It's always about dates and flowers and this and that.
And what's he gonna buy me? And da,
Yeah,
da, 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 da.
exactly. And so I said, well, I think, you're a good person to go on a date with. That would be great. You don't have to go actually on a date. So I gave 5, um, let me see, for 5 things that you can do on Valentine's Day, right? Like if you are single or don't have a boo, right? And so yeah, it's all about spending time with yourself. Why do you have to spend time with somebody else? And you don't have to go out on a date. You can have a date in your home. If you want to get dressed up in your home, right?
Right.
Because some
Mm-hmm.
people may feel funny with all these people out here in it, in the restaurants and all of that.
Yeah.
You don't have to feel like that. Order your food,
Uh-huh.
prepare yourself, however that date is with you. Yeah, have it.
Because if you're not willing to sit down and do that with you, what makes you think somebody else is gonna want to do it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, invest in yourself in that way.
Yeah,
Learn yourself, love
yeah.
yourself,
There you go.
so that you know that you're worth someone else loving and you know how to present yourself to somebody else because you've done it for yourself and you absolutely loved it about yourself.
Mm-hmm. And Valentine's Day is the biggest day where people think about love. So why not love you, right? We focus on loving somebody else, giving gifts, flowers, all kind of candy and all cards and stuff. Why not do that for yourself? Go to the store and find a card
For
and read
you.
it and see, does it fit you?
That's
Most
really
people
good.
haven't done that, right? I've never done that. Maybe I need to go myself first before I do this and see what that's like, right? Maybe. But I we stand in the in the aisle how long? Looking, nope, this card ain't right because it said that word. That don't fit. Nope. I said, if not, get a blank card and write to your own self.
Oh, wow. That's a big challenge.
It is.
That's a tall order.
It is. That's why I think this pitch is gonna go through, because I haven't heard anybody say, "Go, you be your own Valentine." People
That
have
is really
talked
good.
about it in that way, but they not like the way I'm going to spin it.
And it almost forces you into action
Mhm.
the way you're saying this. Like, it makes you think, like, what have I ever done that? Do I really show myself love and gratitude?
Come on. Yep. If this
Because
day is about love, who better else to start with than myself? I may be single for a reason. Maybe I'm in preparation for somebody else, but along the way, love yourself enough that, hey, if I don't have anybody, I'm okay.
maybe I'm single because I don't know how to love.
Come on. And so I know all these things, that's all of this is good, but I also am realizing that I probably will have 1 minute to be able to say all this stuff, right? Five things, and the stuff that I really want to say ain't gonna get said. So hey, it's just an adjustment. It's an adjustment to knowing how we talk freely here. They're gonna want me, whatever I pitch, those five things, that's what they're gonna want me to hit.
And then you plug yourself though, and then what you can do is
Yeah.
do an extension of it
Yes.
on your show.
Or maybe they'll call me back.
Love that.
Because there are two people, and I put that on there, giving flowers, that's what I'm gonna start weekly, giving flowers to people while they're alive, right? Just people who inspire me, who I see greatness in them. And so the one, I took her class and she taught on how to make a pitch. I never knew how to get on the news or whatever. I'm just like, actually, you've probably seen her. She's on a commercial for Better Health. She's a therapist on the commercial for Better Health. She pitches to all these different things. And
Really?
that's what happens. It opens the door for greater things. They look at your page. She said they just like, they pretty much crucify you. They looking at everything, right? What do you do?
Right.
So she's very cautious about what she puts on her
Put
page.
song. Yep.
Yeah, and getting on TV, like, it's not paid to do this, right? But it
Yeah.
will lead to pay, because they'll say, "Oh, you were on Fox 32, or WGN 9 or whatever," right? And that's clout.
Hmm. And then they see that, and you get a reputation built that way.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I really like that. I see that going a lot of different places, really good places.
Yeah. So let me get through this first one first.
I think you're gonna do great, and I think you picked the perfect time to do it because Valentine's Day is a highly, highly celebrated holiday.
Yep.
James and I really don't celebrate it
No.
because we were married in February,
Oh, okay. Okay. So
so we celebrate our wedding anniversary.
yeah,
We literally got
which is
married
when?
before February 5th.
Okay.
So like a week before Valentine's Day. And so we literally, by the time Valentine's Day comes around, we're like, happy Valentine's Day, babe. Thanks. It's not, I don't know. It's just not a day that we really
Yeah.
care
Well, I mean,
about.
because y'all celebrated a week before.
Yeah, right. We celebrate it. So, we go on our trip. So we like go out to eat. We do all that. And I like it because I don't have to worry about being out in the crowd. I
Yeah.
don't pressure him about taking me out for Valentine's Day or anything like that. It's
Hmm.
not a big deal for me. I think I've grown into that over the years. I think in the beginning it was always like, oh, you didn't give me anything for Valentine's Day. What is wrong with you? You don't love me. And it's like, just through the years now, it's not, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
not.
now I needs to have something for Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, because y'all anniversary is
September.
September. Yeah,
2 days. Yeah,
before
before my birthday.
birthday. Yep.
Why did I do that? I don't know. Like, that's just the craziest thing.
And,
But
and you're
yeah,
not gonna celebrate your birthday. So
absolutely not. And you have to give me separate, because this is something. This represents something else, and my birthday is something else, right? So yeah, he knows that. Don't you dare try and
put them
put
together.
them together. No, no, no. Mm-mm.
No, I get that. That's different. I think that's different than for me Valentine's Day.
Yeah, well, because
You know.
your anniversary is in that
Yeah.
month. It
Yeah,
makes,
I don't. I mean, it's the same concept. It's celebrating love. So for me, I'm not gonna celebrate that twice. I personally don't see the point. I mean, some people may.
mhm.
I'm good. I'm good with. To me, I'm more excited about our wedding anniversary.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what counts, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah, and because so we now typically for Valentine's Day we don't go out on that day because it's just
Right.
the food. Number one, you know it's not going to be good because they're rushing trying to get everybody in and out. So we may go like I know Valentine's Day is on a Wednesday. So most people will probably go the weekend, you know, do something that weekend. Or well, I don't know. I think people who are dating will probably do it on that Wednesday.
Yeah, they'll do it. Yeah, they probably will
Yeah.
because
Well, for us, no, we'll probably do it like that
Mhm.
weekend, right? That weekend before or after, who cares, right? But for me, because of this whole move, I didn't get a chance to dress up for Christmas. I didn't get a chance to dress up for New Year's Eve,
Also, you dressing up for Valentine's. You stepping out.
baby.
Yeah, you
You
stepping out.
for sure, for sure. I haven't wore clothes because most of my clothes not even here. So I just happened to. I've ordered some thrifting things, right? So this is a thrifted jacket that came yesterday, and I was like, yes, I got something to wear because I might have had a t-shirt on or something. Cause I don't
You with
have,
a
yeah,
t-shirt.
I'm saying
I would have said Tony.
that's what's here, right? I got t-shirts here. I got workout clothes here because I knew if nothing else, I need to have my workout
Be
clothes.
in the gym.
But when this came in, I was like, ooh, right on time. And I got a few more thrifted things, so I got a couple shows that I'll be fine for until I can bring a couple of my clothing pieces over. Yeah.
Um, do I need to just send you some money so that you can buy me some thrifting things?
Sure. I would love to do that, but I gotta know your style. I gotta learn your style. Or do you want me to create one for you?
I don't. Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay. So yes, I would have to get your size, you know. I can kind of are you looking to go to a different place with
Yeah,
dresses?
I'm changing all of that.
Okay. Okay.
Go. Oh, girl, James. You know you gave James an assignment.
Uh-huh. Did he do it?
He went in there. He went. Whew. He went in the closet and he did his side first. And he came and he was like, I did my side. He said, now I'm ready to go to your side.
Okay.
He got the bag in the closet. Whew.
That's good. Hmm.
That's not good.
Yes, it is because what you're doing is you said you are open to
Yeah.
a new style, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So
I'm
you
moving.
gotta release to get. Yeah, it'll be good because you won't even miss it. When you go to a different style, you'll be like, oh, I didn't need that stuff no way.
Can I get the new stuff first and then get rid of those?
Nope. Nope. No, because I bet what's in the bag you probably haven't even worn or don't wear.
Yeah.
Right. Just holding on to it for what?
Because it's in there. It's clothes in my closet.
Hmm. And we're going to do a whole show on that purging of the closet.
Like
Yeah.
the internal closet or the true closet.
Oh, no, we're doing, well, I could probably talk about both, right?
Yeah.
But when I do the fashion show, it won't be the first one. But we're going to talk about purging of the closet. How when stuff just sit in there, yeah, it's something in here, right? That needs to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that it's more, and it's like mental too. Like you're saying, it's like I'm holding, like you're holding on to that, Um, I thought about that too. Like, withholding stuff like that. Do you hold on to grudges?
Are you
When,
asking me? Oh,
no, I'm saying like when you hold on to things
oh,
physically,
yeah.
what are you holding on to internally?
That's right. Because what you do in one area is what you do in all areas. I tell my clients that all the time, and they be like, give me an example. So one was working on discipline. I said, well, I can't tell all of her areas, but in a couple of the areas, I was like, so you see how this relates to this? And then just think about how you deal with your child, right? And then how you treat yourself, right? They all are the same. You are the same. So once you start working on discipline in your business, then you're going to have to work on discipline with your child. It's going to be different because your mindset is shifting so you can go higher and learn how to be disciplined. It's going to have to either flow to those other areas or either you're not going to be disciplined. Oh, it was good too. That was a good teaching too.
That
Oh,
was, yeah, I can
I
tell.
was so
I
in it.
can
Oh,
tell.
I
I
was
can
so in
tell.
it. And
She
she
was
was
probably
like,
like,
she had never thought about it
yes,
like that.
yes,
But I
yes.
once I said it, she was like, I get it. Yep.
That's them flabbergasted moments where you
Yep.
she did her Uncle Shay Shay. She was just like,
Yeah,
but
she was. She was like, never
don't
looked
you
at it.
love those moments in therapy where it's like an aha moment and it's like a connect the dots moment and it's like a I get what you're saying moment?
Mm. Do you know what I prayed for today? I've
What?
never prayed for this before. So I was working with a client last night. It was a couple. And so they said at their church, they're in Genesis, right? And so just to be honest, I'm not really a Bible reader. I don't like it. I don't like sitting down to read the Bible. And I told God, I said, God, I just really don't get no enjoyment out of it. Now, there are scriptures I like, but I've never had a desire to read the Bible from beginning to end, right? So I said, I'm going to try something different. At least I'm going to start with Genesis, right? So,
Genesis is the best.
so that's on the way to going to the gym this morning. I said, well, normally I'll listen to somebody else inspirational or whatever, right? And then I had heard somebody else that morning said, you got to read the word, right? It's okay to hear somebody inspirational, but you got to read the word. So I was like, okay, I'm going to start with Genesis. And
Mm.
I got some revelations of God.
Yes. Oh,
He,
yes.
his creativeness,
Oh,
right? Just, and then I started asking questions and I said,
yes.
God, help me to be able to ask questions like you because the
Uh-huh.
questions, so I was reading the Message Bible and it was like, so it's profound how he asked these questions because he asked Adam and Eve
Where
of
are
what,
you?
yeah, those type, and I'm like, but you knew where they were, but it got them to be conscious of themselves. I said, God, that's what I need for my
But
client.
with no judgment though. Like no
No judge.
judgment.
It was no judge.
Like
How did you know you were
where
naked?
are you?
Right?
What do you mean
How,
you're naked? How did
right.
you know?
What is
How did
what?
you know?
How did you know you were naked? Because you came in this world naked. So how did you know you were uncovered?
What's making you think be aware of that now? Like
And like I said, no judgment. I said, God, I just got it. The light bulb went off for me. That's what I need for my clients. I said, help me be able to ask questions to get them to see themselves without judgment.
well, now you're stepping into coaching when you can begin to ask those kind of because it coached them into realizing
Well, that's
even
why I
though they
do it
wanted to
therapy
play
anyway.
blame, but they became aware. You coach them into awareness.
I thought that's what therapy was because that's how I've always done it. So maybe I've always been a coach.
You've always been a coach. You've always been a coach.
Didn't know. Like seriously. That's what I do. I ask my clients questions. I'm not judging you. Like I told her, I said, because she had a tough topic, boy. She had a couple tough ones, right?
She
Look,
put you out there.
ooh, baby. I love her. I love her because she's coming into awareness. She's coming into awareness of who she is. And I said, I'm not here to judge you. I don't care what you've done. That's not what it's about, right? It's to make you aware of what is going to be most fulfilling and productive in your life, right? Is this whatever you're doing now, is that fulfilling and productive for you?
Hmm.
So that got her to think, right?
Oof.
And that's how I always have approached it. So I guess maybe I have been a coach and didn't know it.
Because counseling is more about like talking about what you
Oh,
have you know what I'm saying? them
mhm.
them talking to you about when you start going into questioning and analyzing and trying to locate them, that's starting to step into the coaching field and the coaching area. And the sad part, the crazy thing about coaching is that it's not the counseling, and I think a lot of people are afraid of counseling. It's not the counseling you're afraid of, you're afraid of the coaching.
Oh,
You're afraid of the action because it's going to
because it
draw you into
makes you,
action.
yep. Because they're okay. I get it, what you're saying. But I guess I've always been different then, a different type of therapist because questions is just like, I just don't sit there and listen to you. I can't. That's not what I'm called to do. As a therapist, that has never been me. That's, that's not how I work because how can I get you to change? How can I motivate you to change? I hear what you're saying, but there has to be some type of action that is taken.
Yeah, that's more coaching.
Okay.
Because I mean, and I think they go hand in hand, counseling and coaching. But I don't think some counselors can coach because it's a lot of coaching. It can be scary because you get a lot of backlash with coaching, and if they don't feel comfortable, if they haven't done the talking, and they
Mm.
haven't, if they don't feel safe with you and they don't feel like they can trust you, it's gonna be hard when you start asking those questions for them to like come at you with an answer instead of offense.
And I'm a straightforward shooter. I don't be playing no games. Look. I don't see nothing funny. What you thought I said a joke? No. What?
No, we're
No.
serious.
No. Right. I'll be real serious. Like I mean, I take it so serious because I love what I do. I
That's
absolutely,
why you love it, because you
man.
actually see results.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Because
Mm-hmm.
I told myself a while ago, because I was like, I in my counselor knows this, I tell her this all the time. I'm like, I can't just sit and listen to somebody talk. Like that would disturb me. It would be very boring for me
Mm-hmm.
and it would irritate me. But I'm in that same boat with you. I do not want to sit and just listen to people talk, but I do want to learn how to ask the right questions to provoke awareness in them without them feeling judged.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was my prayer today, and so I'm gonna keep praying because I believe he done already has done it in me, but I want it refined. I want it to a level that I've never even seen yet. And I
So,
go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I think I asked some profound questions, babe, because when I get into it, I'll be like sometimes like surprised because I know it wasn't me. And I'll tell them, I say, they might say, I never thought about it like that. I said, me either, because it was the Holy Spirit. I'll let them know. I'd be like, trust me, that did not come from me. Because
And
the questions just I'd be
how
like,
long?
wait, I'm not even that intelligent to ask that question, right? Like sometimes I just be like, I would have never thought of that.
So it's not what you say. I'm realizing that.
Hmm.
It's not what you say. It's who says it and it's how they say it. Who says it from the perspective of, is it somebody that I can trust that's saying this to me right now? And how are they saying it? Are they, where are you? God. Like, I mean, geez, where I mean, where are you? You know? or is it, where are you? You know, like in
You have to get them.
you have to get them.
Hmm.
You have to get them. And I think that if you cannot talk on that level, because anytime anybody reads that scripture, you never hear anybody yelling it.
Hmm.
You know, but they literally just sinned.
Hmm.
And God comes down. But I've never heard anybody read that with anger. Have you? I've never heard of that.
Hmm. No, because and that's funny that you say that because it could be misconstrued where it said, where art thou? Right?
Right. Yeah.
Nobody, yeah, no, because you don't
Nobody
do that.
yells that.
Clearly you can tell like he was saying it out of concern. Like,
Concern.
yeah, it's like I'm God. Yeah, I see it. So why are you trying to hide it from me? Just let me know. Let me know what it is. I'm not here to
Mm.
beat you over the head with it. I just want to hear from you. Yeah,
Oh.
I got so much. I got up to 4 when I realized that Lamech is Noah's dad.
Mm-hmm.
When
Mm-hmm.
they start, it was actually,
The generations
it's
and yeah.
funny because I was like, I actually kind of like it.
Girl, I started doing diagrams. I started
Mm.
doing like a lineage of like, okay, this one with this one, this one with this one. Because I wanted to see how they connected. It's a genealogy.
I'm 1 second.
Okay.
Yep, working. Yeah, it
It's
was,
a genealogy.
my goodness. It was so it my mind was blown. Like you said you didn't like it. Maybe that was God opening my eyes, like, try it again.
I loved it. This is the thing. My mom and I argued about this so much. But when I first said, okay, God, I'm giving you my life in 2020, when everybody else gave themselves to Jesus.
Right.
Like, oh, like for real, for real. And that's the first place I was led. I was
Mhm.
led to Genesis. And I truly understood why it's called the beginning.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, elementary school is the beginning. And it's the building blocks.
Mm.
I look at Genesis as being the same thing. It is the building blocks. Like, and when you're ready, when you're really ready, it's like Genesis opens up a whole different thing in your mind. Like you're saying, I thought about it differently. I had so many questions. I was writing down notes. I had never seen the Bible that way.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I see what I know exactly what you're talking about. Genesis is my go-to book. I love Genesis.
And Proverbs has always been mine because it's 31 days, so you definitely got one for each day,
Each
right?
day. Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess they were led to expose me to that yesterday. Because I was
It's
like,
good.
yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just was baffled. I was like, how you ask that question like that? I just,
He got a lot of them though in Genesis. A lot of questions God asks. You know what it made me think about? Because I don't know if you grew up in the era where it was like, don't ask me that. Don't ask me no questions.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And so I grew up thinking that asking questions was bad.
mm-hmm,
But when I read the Bible, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, why not ask questions?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it's like God started speaking to me and was like, yeah, I need you to ask me questions because you don't. How do you find out?
Yep,
How do you learn if you don't ask questions?
yep. And as a therapist or counselor, to me, that's the way you learn about you learn about your client by asking questions. How else am I going to know? Just by listening to you, because there's some things you're not going to reveal if I don't ask.
Oh, so is it your fault? This is a good one. Is is it your fault when you ask the question and you get like people that are on the defense? Because how do you know? What I'm saying is, how do you know that is you just being way too strong and just being a judgmental person, and just between that, or just somebody that's not ready to receive because they have this block up. You know what I'm saying? How do you know the difference between that?
You learn how to gauge. I did. Like when I first started, um of course I was so nervous and stuff. I'm trying to go by like a script, right? I'm
Yeah.
trying to, because I'm just nervous being in the room. I can remember plenty of times where when I had to do for clinicals, right? And then I would have them behind the window looking at me,
Watching you.
right?
Uh-huh.
Or adding, they would tell me sometimes, because we would have teams, and then your team would send you questions to ask because it was all about input from others, your perspective. Maybe I was blinded and couldn't see certain things that the team saw, right? So they might send you a note or something, and say this to help you to be able to gain more information, right? So it went from that being real nervous and not knowing how to be in the room, because you got to learn how to just be in the room, right?
Yeah.
How to
Mhm.
be comfortable, how to really listen, and especially with a new client, because you have no clue of, there's no relationship that has been formed yet. So
Mhm.
learning how to build that rapport and see if there's a fit, right?
Right.
um so it's a gauging. It's like, over time of me doing this, I learned when they're ready. So it's almost like a probing. I do little questions. So I do these little questions, and you can't answer those little questions, or you're guarded. You know,
Yeah.
when I see that guard is up, it's not time yet. Because most of them aren't bold enough to say,
I'm not ready for that question.
right, right. Or I'm not ready to talk on that subject. I have some who will say it, but most of them won't. And sometimes that's how they end up going to look for another therapist, because they won't say it, you
But
know,
they just feel like uncomfortable.
they feel uncomfortable and they like, this is too much for me.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's really just kind of gauging your client.
So in the meantime, do you just let them talk if they ask the question? If you ask the question and they're not ready, do you just keep asking questions, or you just let them talk?
I keep asking questions about what they answer to.
Ah, you find something that they can answer to.
Yes. Yep.
I,
Something they're open, something that they're okay with. It could be something about, like, what's your favorite color and why is that your favorite color, which is going to lead me into something else, right? But I know I can't touch that area right there because they're not ready yet.
so you start. It's almost like an orange. There's
Hmm.
layers to it. You just keep peeling, peeling back and peeling back until you get to the core.
For some, I
Mhm.
jump right on in.
And they take it.
Uh-huh. And I kind of learned, that's the crazy thing. Like, I've kind of learned who can take it and who can't, just by their whole demeanor, right? So it's funny. I got this new couple. Well, they're not new now. I've seen them one, two, three, four, about four times, maybe five. The first three were they came like they had it all together. And I was like, in my inner, you would not be here in therapy if you had it all together. So that's my curious mind, right? Yeah, I'm asking questions and all that. They still trying to hide and be guarded, right? Baby, session 4, I was like, thank you, God, because I knew I wasn't crazy. I was like, I already knew it's gonna come out. You can only hide for so long. That's just like dating. If you can only hide for so long, and then you're gonna start showing your true colors. And I was like, okay, now I feel, because before then, before session, I'm trying to figure out what we gonna do. Cause y'all acting like y'all perfect.
Think it's
I,
good.
I don't
Right.
I don't know what we're doing, right?
What we talking about? I don't even know why I'm here. You paying me? Okay, I'll take the free money. But
Yeah. And so when we got to that session, I was like, okay, now it's I don't know why this is, but chaos. I operate very well in chaos.
oh, I don't.
I'm talking about in the sessions.
Oh, and to say okay, I was like,
In the sessions.
no, I can't.
No,
I can't,
no,
I
no.
can't
I
take
learned
it.
this in my life.
Yeah.
Nah, nah, not in my life.
Oh, but when it gets yucky like that in your sessions, that's what you want. You want the
I be like,
yucky.
yes, yes, I'm in it. I'm in it. Yeah,
See,
give
I
me.
went back on. See, and I think that's the part for me that I'm still trying to work on with people. With my, when somebody comes to me, when they start getting very vulnerable like that, I'm like, like I'm sorry. You need a tissue, like I'm.
But that's okay because that may be just how your style of counseling is. That's
Well,
okay.
no, and I think that because I try to go right into problem solving for them,
Okay, gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Mm,
and it's you can't do that.
nope, no, because you'll spin yourself. You're not helping,
And then
right?
you go home and you like, they need to do
You're
this and
carrying
they
it
need to do
with
that.
you.
And
Hmm.
I mean, I can get people to open all the way up, but then I'm just ready to just well, you need to do this, you need to do that. And then they may or may not listen to me, and that's when it gets frustrating.
Yeah,
But it's not their idea.
right. There you go. There you
So
go.
they have to, let them get to that point where they can finally open up. And then when they open up, begin to dig deeper,
Yeah,
ask more questions.
yeah.
That's that. Where are you? And
Hmm.
then, like you said, well, how did you know that you were naked? And how
Hmm.
did you just keep asking questions.
Hmm.
And I
And
mean, do you want
watch.
to be naked? Like, you know?
Yep. And just paying attention to I mean body language is so key too. Like I clearly watch, how you may not be saying it, but your body is telling me something different. So what is that? Why are you, moving that way or looking that way? What is going on? What is being said that is not being said? Stuff like that, right? Like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like the more you do it, the better you get. And that's like with anything. That's back to full circle with Cat Williams, right?
Cat Williams.
The more
Yep.
you do it, the more you study it, the more you work in it, you start learning things that if you never do it, you'll never learn.
That I agree. I agree 1,000%. And I think you're right. And I totally see now why you love what you do.
Girl, my face lights up. I'll be
I
so
see it.
so geeked.
I
I'll be
see
so
it.
geeked. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just I know, if nothing else, I know that's what I'm purposed to do.
So now we need you to start getting some $1 million clients.
I know. Come on now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. From your mouth to God's ears.
Oh yeah. Cause you know what you're doing. And it's people out here that need it.
Mm-hmm.
You the next Ayala.
That was a prophetic word. I received it.
Yeah.
But I think what I'm hearing is, it won't be individual anymore. I believe the stretching is me doing the groups,
Yeah. You
right?
need it. Yes. Like, you know what I could see you doing? Oh my gosh. You need to watch you need to watch Nine Perfect Strangers. Now,
Who?
it's not gonna be that like it's a show called Nine Perfect Strangers, and it's this therapist, and she has like this combine, like she has this whole retreat area that she sets up for couples. Now she microdoses them. I'm not talking about that part. But as far as what she stood for, like
She
really
does
giving,
what?
she
Microdose?
microdoses them, like she gives them psychedelics over time. That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about that part now. I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about like the getting away. Like I could totally see you doing like having like a retreat place for people like couples to come, and you do like a whole group therapy session with the couples, and you do it like 3 or 4 times a year, and you offer these intensives, and you sit down with them, and I'm talking about like complete breakthrough type things, And I'm talking about like they go, and I mean like maybe Hawaii or Aruba, or I'm talking about they flying out to you and they coming back and they're totally restored and they're starting their marriage and they're like referring all their friends to you because they're getting all these things that they've been to retreats before, they've never experienced anything like what you have. That's what I'm seeing for you. One and done. What?
Because I'm not gonna cry. I'm not.
Oh, I
I
just told you
that,
don't do it with tears. Don't do it.
I know that was prophetic because that's been spoken from him to me,
Oh
and
wow.
now you are confirming it. And then even the couple that I shared some things to with you about that. That's exactly, yeah. It's already in the works.
Wow. I had no idea. I see it. Like I see it. Yeah. So you just keep pushing, friend, and you just keep doing everything you're doing. Like you are not anywhere near where you're going to end. Like this is just the beginning of it. And just because of your
The
faithfulness.
beginning, Genesis.
Yeah. That, there you go.
That's why I'm reading it, right?
That's why you're reading it. Yeah. When you started this, all the sacrifices you made with the kids and stuff, like it's gonna pay off. It's all worth it. It was all worth it.
Hmm.
And it wasn't just, and I'm not saying that anything's wrong with people that are therapists, because that's great work and I appreciate them. But it wasn't just for you to be a therapist.
Hmm. Yep.
This was like this was just like, you know how you have like on the job training? That's what this has been for you. It's been OJT for the real thing.
Hmm. Well, I'm not speechless, but I'm in a different zone right now. Yeah. And it's funny because he's showing you to me because you're at that age where I was, right? But yours is going to be accelerated. You know,
Oh wow.
yeah, it's not going to take you what it took for me. It's not going to
Wow.
take that long for you. You know why? Because who he's bringing into your life.
I received that.
Yeah. who
Yeah.
who he's bringing into your life is going to accelerate you rapidly.
How did you even like because I was looking at um the schooling and stuff like that. And I was looking at everything and I was like, oh my God. Like what am I don't know if I have the bandwidth and the capacity, the finances, like I mean just everything. My life is different now.
Hmm.
And to start something that big at this point in my life, not saying that it can't be done,
Hmm.
but I'm just trying to figure out you know,
How what?
how to get the schooling done, you know. It just seems like it's just gonna take so long. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I kept saying to myself. Like this just seemed like it's gonna take forever, and I just don't feel like I got forever. And I wasn't trying to be like ungrateful to God or anything like that, but it was just like, I want to go now. I want to get started. I want to do things now. And if I have to wait, I told him I would. But I mean, that I received what you said.
Yeah, just know his timing is right, because when he told me to go fill out, file for school associates, I'm like, I don't know nothing about college, right? But
Mhm.
everything aligned,
Just
right?
started going.
His timing is right. Those 8 years went just like that. Now, was there a lot of sacrifices along the way? Absolutely. But
Yeah.
one thing that you have that I didn't, I was not at the time, but in the in on the way to divorce, right?
Hmm.
And so then having to do all of that
Yeah.
schooling and own a business and have two teenagers, and damn near raising myself. So
Yeah.
you have help.
Yeah.
That is the thing. So you can do it. You will do it, and you'll enjoy it along the way, especially once you get in the program. Well, you'll be doing what it is, you'll be working right in the program, so you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
Even though it'll be difficult, right? Like schooling can be difficult with the papers and all the stuff you got to do, but you will enjoy it.
And it's like everything that I've been afraid of, it's just been hitting different. Like I was like, man, I'm like getting older, and do people really just go start school?
Mhm.
Yeah, I just been hearing it. Like with you saying, I had no idea that you started at that age. And like even my therapist was telling me about,
I might
you
have
know,
been 30.
body.
I might have been 37, not 38.
I'm
Yeah.
37 right now. Yeah, I'll be 38 in October.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's crazy because when 37 came in, my mom was like, "This is the year. The 3 and the 7, they mean something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You in the year of complete Trinity and completion."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm excited. I think that both of us are definitely, um, we're off. We're off to the races,
Mm-hmm.
and in different ways, but in great ways. And I'm just so excited to see what the months and the years have to offer because it's going to be explosive.
Oh yeah. Woo. Yeah. The camera talk. Explosive. Ooh, you ain't said nothing but some words that is truth.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I just see it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it's all about just not settling
Yeah.
and seeing yourself beyond where you are
Mm-hmm.
and being willing to die of that spot where you are to move on to something greater.
That's right.
It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
As long
That.
as we got breath, we got to keep it moving.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah.
we went
Almost an hour and a half.
another hour and a half again.
I
Well,
don't not listen. This is still nothing like our 3 hour conversation. So I'm proud of us.
that is true, right? Because normally, yeah, we'd be sometimes going into 4 hours, right?
Yeah,
If we could probably do an 8 hour day
we could. It just
talking, and it
yes, we
would be
could.
nothing, right?
It will
But
be nothing.
yeah,
It
so
will be nothing because we'll
this
just.
is
Oh,
good.
what are you eating? What are you? We just keep going. We just start. We just keep starting that.
Exactly. One thing goes to another, to another, to another. And hey, that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, that's what it's all about. So I'm looking forward to what is to come.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. Um, and yeah, we'll just keep it moving until then.
Absolutely. Well, pray for me and I'll pray
Oh,
for you most definitely. You-
always.
Yeah, because it's a whole lot of stuff coming down the pipeline.
I'm gonna be praying. I'm definitely going to lift up your pitch.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm trying to forget about it, right? I'm trying not to think about it. But tomorrow when I hit the button, I'm gonna send you a text, be like, yep, I did it.
Yeah, I'm gonna send that prayer up. Yeah,
Yeah.
that you experience no anxiety and that a peace that passes all understanding takes over,
Mm,
um, and that you are just so full of joy.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you. I received
you're
that.
welcome. You're welcome. All right, my friend.
All right, friend. Well, we got to do that after the show talk at some point this week. I only have one client tomorrow. Do I have one or two? Maybe two. I don't know. But we're going to do it.
Yeah, I'm working tomorrow, but I have a
Oh,
planning period. So I'll text you and tell you my when I get there tomorrow. I don't know what time it is. I'm working tomorrow and Friday actually this week.
okay.
But
Okay.
we're on. You know what? Monday.
What is
Monday's
Monday?
MLK Day.
King. Girl, I
Mhm.
got to work. Martin Luther King would have wanted me to work. Look, I used to play violin, and I said one day when I went to my lessons, I was like, I was gonna take today off because it was Martin Luther King's day. He was like, Martin Luther King would have wanted you to get some of this good work in. I was like, okay, and I adopted that. Since then, I was like, you're probably right. Hmm.
He fought for you to do that.
Yeah. So I work.
It-
If somebody comes on, if they want to come on that day, you got it.
okay. Well, I'll book my appointment another day.
Well, yeah, we'll get it in before Monday, maybe Saturday or something.
Saturday. Saturday's good. I think I only have a couple things to do Saturday, so that sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah. Your
Oh,
nails are cute,
oh,
friend.
thank you. I went to another lady, because my lady had surgery, um, but I'm going back to my other lady because these are thinner, right? Like my lady put
Yeah.
a builder on first because my nails are really soft, right? Like
Mine too.
fighting.
Mine break. I don't have that coat on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely going back to my other person, but I do like she was good at designing. She's been doing this for a long time. Um and she just did it like it was no thing. Where my person, it takes her a little bit longer. And I get it, right? Like
Yeah.
she's learning. So yeah,
She building them blocks.
she building the blocks. Let me see yours.
I have two different.
Cute. No, cute. Yeah. I like that.
Thank you. Okay, friend.
All right. Well,
We'll be talking
to
soon.
all of you all who were privy to our conversation, I loved it today. It was so just, to me, it was just so free flowing, right? We went here, 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 and back.
And back.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So y'all got a chance, to see, like we say, we have candid talk and we talk about some of everything. And some things we keep, just between us. But yeah, who knows? Y'all might hear about it later. But yeah,
Yeah.
catch us
Yeah.
next week, Wednesday. Who knows what we'll be talking about?
Who
But
knows?
you'll enjoy it.
The world is evolving, and
Yes,
we'll be
it
here for
is. Yes,
it.
it is. So until then, you all have a great rest of your week. And hey, love on yourself.
Yes.
Take some time to read the word like God is pressing me, right? To
Yeah.
read the word. Get in the
Yeah.
word. Find you a scripture and maybe just one. But you'll get some revelation in that. I'm quite sure.
I agree. Maybe if you don't know where to start, start in Genesis.
Come on.
I highly recommend that.
The beginning.
If you're ready for him to talk to you, go to Genesis.
All right.
Bye
Peace.
bye. Peace.
Bye.